Yo, what is up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I have some new information on update 0.6 that is coming for Stormgate soon. So included here is going to be the fully finished chapter 1 of the campaign, as well as the map editor available for everyone, which is really exciting. So they've just released a brand new blog post called First Campaign Emerging from Early Access. We're going to read through this together, see what's going to be coming in 0.6. As always, if you guys enjoy the content here on the channel, make sure you're subscribed to stay up to date with Stormgate as well as other RTSs, and thank you guys as always so much for your support. Really appreciated. So they begin here saying, hello everyone, today we are excited to share that our biggest milestone yet is fast approaching. Our next big step coming in update 0.6 is the full release of the Vanguard campaign, which we are calling Stormgate Campaign 1 Ashes of Earth. This campaign release will no longer be in early access, but that won't mean that our work on Stormgate is done. Far from it, this is not version 1.0 of Stormgate, and this isn't the finish line. So before we continue with this, these two sentences kind of contradict one another, and this is a very weird way to develop the game in my opinion. So as far as I understand this, the first chapter of the first campaign, which is like I think 6 missions or so, is completely finished. It's essentially 1.0 ready because they're calling it the full release, but at the same time they're saying that Stormgate itself isn't ready and it's not at version 1.0. So why they aren't releasing the 1.0 version of the campaign with the 1.0 version of Stormgate, it kind of confuses me because they've only really got one shot here. But let's continue anyway and we'll talk about that afterwards. So they say we've come a long way since opening the gates to Stormgate's early access release just over a year ago. That initial release was a rough foundation without polish, lacking many features, and it didn't even include Stormgates, which have really changed the game up a lot. I really like the Stormgates. With your feedback and support, we've made significant improvements across the board. This includes a major overhaul of our art style, customizable hotkeys, campaign, huge design and balance updates, adding Stormgates, which brought excitement and unpredictability to our 1v1 matches, and even the recent launch of the Terrain Editor Alpha, which sparked a wave of creative maps from our incredible community. Creators are already building things we didn't imagine were possible with this early iteration of the tools. This release will include lots of changes and improvements to the game over our recent 0.5 update, but the biggest change players will see is our first full campaign. We'll also be welcoming even more players to join us in experimenting with some of the upcoming features and game modes that we're actively working on. You'll find these by visiting the Sigma Labs section of the Stormgate client in the upper navbar. This will include the new Terrain Editor Alpha, currently in testing with a very limited group, but soon available to everyone with our 0.6 release. Sigma Labs is where you'll be able to play our co-op missions, and we'll be releasing even more experiments in the months to come, like our Team Mayhem 3v3 mode. More on that soon. If you've been waiting for the perfect moment before diving in or inviting your friends to try out Stormgate's campaign and 1v1 modes, this will be the best time to dive in. The launch of Campaign 1 Ashes of Earth will be our next major update. On behalf of the Frost Giant team, thank you for being part of the journey. Stay tuned for more details about the launch of Stormgate Campaign 1 Ashes of Earth, and as always, good luck and have fun. I gotta be honest, I have mixed feelings about this update. First of all, let's start with the campaign editor, because my feelings are definitely universal on that one. I think it's fantastic, right? Some of the stuff we've seen out of the editor so far has been great, and it sounds now like everybody is going to get their hands on it. That means more cool stuff coming out of the community, more interesting game modes that we can all play. That's absolutely fantastic, right? I love the Sigma Labs section here at the top of the screen, where you know that's what you're going to find there. So that part of 0.6 really excites me. However, it looks as though they're sort of saying, on the one hand, the campaign is fully ready, and this is the end experience, this is what you can expect, and they're sort of inviting players in and saying, hey, here's this like fully finished part of the game, but the entire game itself isn't finished yet. You know, we've already seen Stormgate and Frost Giant Games kind of overextend and released the game ultimately in an unfinished state, which of course we know led to tons of negative reviews. People left very negative feedback online about the game, and as a result of that, nobody's really playing the game anymore. We only have around 50 or 60 concurrent players, and every time there is one of these 0-point-something updates, we usually get up to about maybe 200-300 players as we see some regulars jump back in to check out what's new, but then, you know, after a few days, it goes back down to the player number of 50. And in my eyes, what Stormgate really need to do to have any chance of success is they need to get the game fully done, like as close to 1.0 as they can with the resources that they have, and then they need to do a major marketing push. They need to reach out to content creators, they need to spend some money on that as well, which I don't think they did last time. And they are only going to have like one more shot at getting people back in the game and saying, hey, come and check out the game again and see if you like it. And I feel like they're sort of doing this with every update. So instead of just going for, you know, everybody all at once, they're sort of inviting people back every little incremental update here to, you know, in this case, play through this apparently fully finished campaign. And I don't know, I'm just not sure that's the best look to be promising that any one part of the game is 100% done and finished, because that really opens yourself up to a world of negativity if people don't like it. You know, they may be able to also detract from the rest of the game and say, well, if this is the quality of this part of the game and it's 100% finished, then maybe if I don't like that part of the game, I don't hold out any hope for the rest of the game. I don't want to be too overly negative about this. Like, don't get me wrong, guys. I think it's absolutely fantastic that they've got the first chapter of the campaign, you know, finished. They've got a name for it. They're bringing in the editor. They really are doing a lot of work on the game in a very short amount of time, and it's very impressive. But I still think that they maybe need to like temper expectations a little bit, you know, just kind of keep it on the down low, because even as they put out these updates, we're not seeing like too many players jump in regardless. And then let's build it up to that big 1.0 release, and then we go full force and we market the game up the wazoo. And, you know, if people still don't like it then when they've spent all this time on it and tried to make it as 1.0 as possible, then so be it, right? They've tried their best, and what else can you do? As always, guys, let me know your thoughts below. You know, am I just overreacting to this here? This is just like my initial knee-jerk reaction to it, but I'm very much looking forward to jumping into 0.6 and trying it out. What else we're going to be getting in this update outside of the terrain editor or the map editor and this new fully finished campaign, I'm not sure, but as always, I will keep you guys updated on the channel. So if you're not subscribed, make sure that you do that. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.